Okay, it's me, Alex. April 21st, 2024, Sunday night. I think like I said, I'm trying. I got a lot of things going on, but I'm going to get to a routine. We're still going to do one or two more of these pilot episodes, and then I want to get to a nightly stream like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, basically Sunday through Thursday, and just cover different Reddit feeds, like just what comes up, news, politics, travel, random stuff, So yeah, yeah, it's there's a lot of different things to talk about. I'm following a lot of different feeds here, so and then also go through some of the features of Reddit. Now, one thing I noticed in my profile on the mobile app um, was that don't get here. I have the social media links. Okay, so they're here, but in the app, I don't see them. It looks like I got YouTube like 3 times now. So let me just, go through these. Let's see what we got here. We got my company link. So yeah, this is the playlist right now showing live. So maybe I have to let's go add social link here and see how we can edit these. All right, so now I have YouTube. Yeah, um, YouTube a few times. So let me just get rid of this one. It's going to go back. I want to click out of it. Do I have an edit option here? So Reddit has got some work to do on its UI, and I just, for full disclosure, I actually own shares of Reddit. Not too many, just 100, enough to sell covered calls. And the advantage of covered calls is that it's one of the ways you don't lose your money in options. You might lose the upside. You might lose when the stocks rise a lot. If they rise past your call and like skyrocket or something, then you could lose everything. But otherwise they're pretty safe. But you'd only be losing potential profit. You won't be losing all your money unless the underlying totally crashes to the floor, which which can happen. So okay, we have my Instagram tractors and tanks. It's about the Ukrainian war, and then we have my company website. My freelance company, and then we have Reddit live streaming. We have a banner image. I have my little Viking icon. So yeah, yeah, we have all kinds of things going on here. Little description, and then I wrote that in because I couldn't see it on the app. So I have a display name Alex in Ukraine, but actually it should be Alex in Lviv. Yeah, that would be better. Yep. So we fix that up, just to match up with the YouTube. Now let's go look at some feeds here. So yeah, I'm one of these people who have an opinion about everything. Wait, let's see what's going on in the chat. You do have chats in Reddit. Like I said, it's very 90s. So I'm talking to someone in Virginia or who wants to visit Virginia Beach. That's a topic I cover a lot here on the Reddit feed is Virginia Beach. I'll think about it when I get there. Do you have a plan for when you'll be back? Uh, right now, nothing is certain. Um, we are thinking about returning to the USA depending on the situation in Ukraine. So Reddit gives you these random names. Now, like I said, I think in the previous episode I talked about you got to right when you sign up change your name. Otherwise, it's like French Foreign Legion. You get the name they give you, and you got to live with it. So yeah. But let me see. So I have a lot of people message me, and you can message me on Reddit. I love talking to people. It's fun, you know. That's why we're here, right? Just enjoy each other's company. So let me just answer this question here. Right now, nothing is certain. We are thinking about returning to the USA depending on the situation in Ukraine, where we live now. Yeah. So yeah, as those of you who don't generally follow the channel, um, let me see. How do I get out of this? Get comments. Yeah. Okay. It's hard to know how many people are on the stream. Let's see. Let me just look at the other window here. Okay. Yeah, so okay, I see it here. I don't want the feedback though. I can get the feedback. Let me just message my friend Bill to see. He's like helps me test. Okay, I'm on. Can you join? Let me just let Bill know that I'm here, and let me send him a link. Yeah, we're just getting. This is just starting up, but like I said, I want to get this to be a regular thing. I'll get more control over my time, over my schedule, and then yeah, then it'll be more routine, and then hopefully we can grow this thing. We can talk about a lot of things on an objective way. Um, so let's see. Bill helps me test out the features. He's a friend of mine in Lithuania. I've known him for at least 20 years. I believe it's been about 20 years since I met him. We met in a restaurant. I heard him talking American English, and he was talking about actually the investing climate in Lithuania at the time. And then I overheard him. I introduced myself and been friends ever since. So, um, yep. But let's go through. These are okay. I need help with a question. Yeah, I've been answering, but I want to go through the Reddit feed here. Okay. All right. So, okay, yeah, we are here. We are here on the Reddit feed. I've been on the app all day. The app has a little bit different layout, so I'm just getting used to everything. My karma is up to 27.8. Maybe you guys can help upvote me to 30,000 karma. There's Bill. Bill's in the chat. Okay. Yeah, and I was telling you, Bill, I'm gonna try to get this thing nailed down to. I think 9 o'clock works better than 8 o'clock. I just can't get free at eight at night. With the little one and everything. She's not easy to get to sleep. So she's 3.5, going on 4 months. So I think even the teeth are coming. She's at the earliest possible time to get the teeth, but yeah. So I think those of you who have kids understand what I'm talking about. Um, how's the sound, Bill? You hear me? Everything okay? Let me see if he's in the chat. Yeah, he's there. Whoosh. Okay, let's see. Let's look at, okay, this is one of my favorites, doing project management questions, for the exam. So let's see what this one comes up as. I took the PMP exam. I aced the PMP, the Agile Certified Professional, not only because I studied, but because I've been doing this for all my life, working in projects, whether it be Agile, Waterfall, Lean Six Sigma. So it's very familiar. And then I studied really intensely for a few weeks. And we can talk more about that after this question. I've talked about it on some other episodes. So, a project manager is working on a complex project with many stakeholders that have conflicting priorities. Senior management asks the project manager to avoid noise because this is a highly political project. This is what I like about this Project Management Institute and their tests. They're actually realistic scenarios. This is like how it is in the real world, when you're a project manager. The project manager opted to use expert opinion from well-known industry profiles. What did the project manager do to satisfy the senior management's request? So when you answer these questions, the first thing you do, actually, you should start out down here and read the question, and then you read the context, or you read the paragraph to get the context, and then respond in a friendly manner to senior management. No. Appeared to be consistent in the use of words and actions, cooperated with senior management to achieve mutual goals, took action based on senior management's. The Project Management Institute is their questions are all about, the project manager is this like I know I'm repeating myself. It's like this social butterfly in the company, right? They get people to work together. They always cooperate. They don't act unilaterally. That's what you have to put down here. So I yeah, see, like they put down C, and I'm going to write my answer here. Like I chose C because it shows the PM working. I'll just put a little bit of humor in this, playing well with others in the company. And I'll tell what's wrong with A. A is weak. Respond in a friendly manner to senior management. This is definitely not correct. B, appear to be consistent in the use of word. This is irrelevant. I mean, this is like A, and you'll see this with the Project Management Institute questions. You can rule out two pretty quickly. So, and when you were studying the materials, if you're going to study, you can ask me. You can always message me. I can tell you all about this PMI exam. Everything. It's you've got to study, and like I tell people, you need to learn how to read. So I advise that you get comfortable reading books and everything. Thanks, Bill, for the sound check. By the way, and then let's see. Took action based on senior management's power to act. That's unilateral. PMs don't act unilateral. So I'll put D. PMs don't act unilaterally. Yeah. They don't do everything by themselves. C is one that shows the teamwork. So yeah. So yeah, that's how you do it. And there's this guy, Dave McLachlan. He goes through tons of questions and he does the process of elimination. And if you're going to take the exam, I highly advise you watch his videos and everything. But let's go back to the feed. Is it worth taking $90 at 4 point, staking $90 at? Oh, geez. Let's go in the crypto chat. Crypto. This is my view of crypto. It's not a technology; it's a cult. The technology is very flimsy. I mean, we're seeing on the Solana network, they just launched a new, very widely acclaimed meme token called Gummy, and it's being put on by the crypto banter people. And there's like 130,000 individual holders that they're trying to push this token out to. And the network starts slowing down and getting clogged up. So Solana is a proof of stake network. And proof of stake networks, when they get overloaded, will slow down or even crash. And then Bitcoin, Ethereum, these are proof of work networks. So when they get overloaded, the fees go way up. So it becomes like $90 to transact $5. And it happens very quickly. The transaction throughput of these blockchains is very low. So they really can't do anything, practical with them. I mean, there's some NFT loyalty programs. I even did a seminar on this with Starbucks and with Reddit. I mean, I have a Reddit NFT here, and this is done on Polygon blockchain, but it doesn't. People have bought them. I bought this one of the Minnesota Viking. Let me just go to my profile here. Let me just close this. Let me duplicate. Here it is. So yeah, I have this. But I mean, it seems like something only big business can do well. It's a novelty more than anything else. I mean, does Reddit really need to do this? I mean, yes, I can take this NFT, I can sell on the market. They're in limited quantity and everything. I mean, I bought this for $25. There's like 500 of these Minnesota Vikings out there. It's fun. I would say I like it. It's entertaining. I've worked with blockchain, but can you do big banking things on it? I don't think so. I don't think so. If everyone started transferring money like they do on Swift network, using one of the major blockchain networks like Ethereum or Bitcoin or Polygon or Solana or something, it would crash. It would crash. We see it crashing just with really small usage. We saw it. We saw CryptoKitties crash. Cause the fees on the Ethereum network. It didn't crash, but the fees became exponentially high just off of one game. So that's anyway my opinion about crypto. But this guy's talking about staking, which is another word for term deposit at 4.68 API. I would say buy a share of Uber. It's not. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. I want to caution you on that. That I'm not giving any financial advice here. So I would cash it out and buy a share of Uber or the XLF ETF and sit on it. XLF is the financial sector ETF, and it has like Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan, I think BlackRock's in it. So they'll benefit whenever rates get cut. Right now, I think it's probably beaten down because there won't be rate cuts. So this would be the time to acquire it, because when the Fed decides to cut rates, which would probably be 6 months to 9 months from now, it's not going to happen this year. And again, this is financial advice, but job market's too strong, inflation is too high. But when they do cut the rates, this ETF usually does well. So yeah, I would do that. And Uber is like full of data. It's a great AI play, according to the analysts. But I think it's personally a little bit overpriced. But I would, buy it opportunistically on dips. But that, like I said, this is just my opinion. But Solana, like, you got to get in, get out, right? If you get it low and it pumps, you got to get out. It's gambling. It's like being at a casino. The difference between crypto and stocks is stocks benefit from pension inflows. The big stocks do. So, every month people are putting money towards their pension funds. It's automatically taken out of their salary. It's sent to BlackRock, and the fund managers put it in different funds. And then they have to go out on the market and buy those stocks. And it just keeps accumulating. Of course, there's dumps and everything, but it's nothing like crypto where things dump 90%. They generally, just steadily, you can beat inflation. I don't want to promise anything, but generally stock investing has made a lot of people rich. I mean, school teachers and bus drivers and what have you, who've had put money in the pension funds during the 80s and 90s, and those pension funds were invested in good stocks like Microsoft and Amazon and Eli Lilly and General Electric or whatever. They've seen a rise better than average, and so you have a lot of they don't, people don't talk, crypto people don't talk about that. I mean, only there's a BlackRock ETF, and I don't think that's finding its way into too many pension funds. But the people, the reason why stocks steadily go up is because people are always adding money to pension funds faster than they're taking the money out. Okay, let's see. Wall Street bets. Yeah, people up and down, up and down. Let's see what's going on in Wall Street bets, if there's any good tips or any good advice. Every now and then you can find something in here. So they have this weekend discussion thread. Of course, Nvidia's down. That's my favorite stock. Been in it long before it was hyped. But I don't know. It's probably coming to the end of the road. Like I said, it's not investment advice, but things can only go up for so long. Things on the next earnings. So let's see. Nothing remarkable here. So you got Jensen Huang and Mark Zuckerberg. So yeah, Facebook is getting into the game, AI game, and everyone needs Nvidia chips for that. But that might already be priced in. I'm not sure. Let me just get some water here. Like Dave Allen. Yeah, you guys, if you're in the chat, just fire off some stuff you want to talk about or disagree with me on. Tesla. Kathy Wood dipped into a lot of Tesla. And I think it's a self-driving thing. That is really going to change the world if they can execute. The real question is, can Tesla execute? I mean, I bought a call option on it. I don't want to put any real money in it. So if it doesn't happen, I just lose a little bit. And if it does happen, I get the right to buy the shares, and I get, either execute and buy the shares at a set price or just take the profit, if it goes over the strike price plus the premium. Let's see, study hall question debate. Should we do another one of these questions here? Let's see. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. Let's see. All right. What should the project manager do first? Now, if you really get used to doing these questions, you read this and then you read the answers. Explain the intent of the UI evaluation to the functional manager. Provide a cost-benefit analysis. He's all, I mean, now we have to read the question. But a lot of times, like in test taking, you read this question, you read the answers, and then you go back and read the passage. A project manager is preparing the charter for a software development project that will outsource 33% of the user interface evaluation. The project manager needs software developers to identify the parts of the UI that a third party can evaluate. However, the software functional manager believes that the project will reduce staff in software development department and refuses to cooperate. Yeah, this this actually really does happen in the real world, especially in software. You're dealing with a lot of special people. Let's just say that. Meet with the functional manager to review the statement of work. Does that really ask the project sponsor to explain the rationale for the third party evaluation to the functional manager? And this, generally you're supposed to handle everything yourself. That's the mentality of the project manager. But sometimes you might need to, as a project manager, you have full responsibility, but you don't have any resources under you. You don't have mandate and you don't have budget. So like I said, you're just kind of like this diplomat. You're just trying to, a politician really. Provide cost benefit analysis of a third party evaluation to the functional manager. Um, yeah, he won't like that, that you're sending all the jobs to India. That's exactly why you do it, because you save cost. Explain the intent of the UI evaluation to the functional manager. Okay. Um, Yeah, this is a tough one. This is actually probably one of those test questions. But I would say in the real world, but there's two ways you answer this. One is the real world way, and then one is the way that the test wants you to answer it. So I would say B in the real world, but let's see, I would say I would yeah, I don't know, I guess I would yeah, I would ask the sponsor to jump in on this one. Let's see what they say. Okay, yeah, it says review the statement of work. But I don't know if that would help anything, because this guy is like, you know, um, feels like his job is threatened. This is a tough question. Let's see what they say. Yeah. So yeah, this is just following procedure. You just put on your dumb hat and follow procedure and ignore ignore what's really going on in the guy's head. So yeah, yeah, that would be a, yeah, statement of work. But anyway, okay, it's a good question. And you'll find a few of those you can't get every question right on those exams. You have to kind of pick ones you skip over, just do the best you can. But it is tough sometimes because if you have real world experience, and you have a guy who's like stubborn and you're like the new PM, sitting down and going through documents with him is not going to change his mind about sending stuff offshore. You do meet people like that and they block you and everything. And so sometimes you have to bring in someone that they already know or someone that they are, who's paying, making their paycheck or who they listen to, and get that going. So anyway, time. How are we doing on time? 24 minutes. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, Delaware. I'm thinking about actually if I move back to America to move back to Delaware, but Delaware State University I think is in downtown Wilmington and not such a nice area. Um, yeah, this is not good. Oh, it's in Dover, Delaware. Okay, I thought there was a DSU campus in Wilmington when I was living there. Yeah, well, that's not good. Also, where I'm thinking about going back to, if we go back to America, is like Virginia outside the Hampton Roads area, like suburban DC or Richmond or something. I already got my mom down in Virginia Beach, but the planes are really loud, you know. Um, all right, Europe. Europe is dysfunctional. They need America to hold it together. I want to talk more about this bill they just passed over the weekend where Mike Johnson had a change of heart. I was hoping we'd run into more of those posts. Um, yeah, this is true. The MAGA crowd has really gone off the rails. Um, and actually, I used to work with Charlie Kirk when I was a naval intelligence officer. He was in the same reserve unit as mine in Chicago. I used to be in I was active duty Navy, and then I was also in the reserves. And I used to go to I was living in Chicago at the time, and I had to go up to Great Lakes for my duty. And he was a fellow officer there, and now he's a congressman. But yeah, I really don't understand these Russians that are, I mean, these Americans that are supporting Putin. It's crazy. But it looks like we've hit peak Trump with Mike Johnson. Got the Democrats have his back. It looks like they can block a lot of Trump's agenda and make him more irrelevant. But at the same time, I'm thinking that if they don't do something with the border, hey, Gala, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Nice to see you. And Bill is another friend of mine. I met personally. I worked with Gala virtually when we were at EPAM, and Bill I've met in person. But I hope to meet Gala as I'm in person one day. Um, okay, yeah, this is the the face palm. They show all this shocking stuff, but that's mhm. All right. This is cool. Oh, I should that one never seen. So this is like one of those. You have like the Santa Claus in the glass ball, and you shake it, and the snow falls. Now, this is a good question. Yeah, this one is good. What happens if Trump gets convicted ahead of November? Well, that's where the Supreme Court has to step in. If you read the U.S. Constitution, there really isn't anything stopping him from running from a jail cell. Unfortunately, they didn't. When they wrote the Constitution, it was like 1776. I mean, lights weren't even invented. They didn't have ballpoint pens, so they were using like feathers and ink. And there was like a whole room full of people, and the room wasn't air conditioned. Uh, there was a war going on, and people didn't bathe much back in those days. So they tried to get that document together the best they can, and they left a lot of it open to interpretation. And that's what the courts are for, to give an interpretation if there's some ambiguity. Um, but the way the Supreme Court looks now, six conservatives, three liberals, this might create a situation where he runs from jail and then he pardons himself and he's out of jail. I mean, that's unfortunately how it's looking. It's not, like I said, the U.S. Constitution requires courts. You know, um, so yep. Let's see, renting versus buying. Okay, renting is cheaper than owning, and 50 of the largest tenants are saving 560 median combined. Median down payment over 30 years. Average cost of ownership will be over $1 million. I don't know if they consider the in this one, if they consider the tax benefits and also the fact that you can, if you're single, you can rent out the extra bedrooms. That's what I did with my first house. I stretched. I bought my first house. It was 4 bedrooms. I got all the other 3 bedrooms rented out, and it was covering my mortgage. And then, yeah, and then I ended up moving back to that house at some point, selling that house. But I don't buy this. I think people, if you're going to be in an area for a long time, you should get in a house and get it paid off as quick as possible. This is assuming you make the payments over 30 years. Most people pay it down early. And then there's a lot of tax deductions. And like I said, you can, if you have a 2-car garage, you use one side and charge storage. People can store their motorcycles or stuff at your house. You can open up a little, mini storage place or something. There's just so much you can do when you own your own place. It just gives you a lot of freedom, I think. Um, let's see, Norway. I just want to eat kebab and the bread in one bite. How normal people make kebab. Separate kebab. Oh, okay, I don't know. This is like varshagu. That means like, yeah, you're welcome. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know. You get a lot of kebab in Norway. Actually, I was living on it for a while when I moved there. Yeah. Well, here's another one. What happens if Trump gets convicted? So there's an article. I guess there's an article that discusses this on the Hill. So this is probably worth a read. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. This is like a hypothetical. I guess I'll have to read this later. I don't want to. Yeah. Let's see. Johnson is under pressure. Well, from what I've read, the Democrats got his back. Democrats and the more moderate Republicans. It looks like he might be able to weather this out. He spelled identity wrong. Now, I'm not allowed to comment in the Ukrainian group because I had some pretty hard criticism about this transgender spokesperson. You know, uh, like I said, it's a very delicate situation. I mean, we just now had to wait like 4 months to get the money for Ukraine. I mean, that doesn't help. When they put controversial people, speaking for Ukraine to America. And it's potentially we have Trump becoming president. That's not going to bode well. They should put some more relatable person. This is talking about Hitler having Parkinson's. Back then they didn't have vitamins, so people aged faster. How do you respond where I'm from? You give the long answer. So this guy is, let's see. I just say, I just tell them, oh, I'm on mute. Sorry about that. Ah, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know. It got slowed up. Yeah, yeah, sorry, I went on mute. Let me just see. I don't know. Reddit is slowing down on me, or the internet. Let's see. You guys hear me now? Hmm. Okay, we got everything back. Ah. So this person, she's also Ukrainian and Singaporean. I'll just put working. I'm working. Yeah. Okay, good. The sound is back. All right, let's see the comments. We'll go to profile. Yeah, and make sure if you're listening to give this a like and subscribe. Right now, I just got my two friends in here, but I want to grow this. I want to grow this live stream. I want to, like some people live stream video games. I want to live stream Reddit. Like I said, I'm really hooked on it. I got a lot of karma here. Actually more from posts than comments. I didn't know my post karma is so high. Let me see what posts I have. Yeah. Oh, this is crazy. Yeah. So I was walking here in Lviv, a bunch of Smurfs out in front of, I think, a school. Like I said, this is what I love about Ukraine. You see a lot of a lot of different stuff. It's not the it's not the same everywhere you go. It's not like America, which has all been like standardized. It's very uh it's very open here. So I just thought this was funny. So I only got 7 upvotes, but it did definitely get a lot of views. Let's see. Let's go look at the comments. Uh, yeah, here we are. Okay. How do you okay, I already that one we did. Yeah, we talked about that one. I talked about that one. Okay, yeah, this gummy airdrop. Yeah, I got that. I did whatever. I downloaded the app and got that. So okay. The economy. Yeah, this is a funny question. And this one I always talk about. In 1965, CEOs were compensated 21 times more than their average worker. In 2020, it was 351 times more. I've seen that number up as high as 500 actually in 2008. So it's come down a bit, but it's still pretty high. But I just made a joke here that yes, it's completely fair because CEOs are actually lizard people and they require a different diet. So I got some upvotes on that, a few upvotes, but I have no idea why CEOs are so overpaid. I mean, yes, it's a hard job, but I mean, they are fairly replaceable, I think, unless they're like Steve Jobs or founder of a company like Jensen Huang, but then they make their money on the stocks. I mean, you see the Cisco CEO, John Chambers, used to pay himself $1 a year, and then everything else depended on stock performance. But yeah, I think the government needs to fix that a bit. You know, um, so let's see. Yeah, this Chrome Away coin. I have some of this. Don't buy this. It's it'll just go down on you. Um, okay, so I got downvoted here. So they didn't like my post. Okay. Okay. Oh, they removed the post altogether. Okay. So yeah, it's off topic because yeah, that's the tough thing with the moderator. You can't have the Europe chat become the America chat. So oh well. I was downvoted on that because I was making fun of Mike Johnson that it looks like he actually read the Bible that Trump was selling and then decided to vote for Ukraine aid. Um, okay, what skill would you pay $500 to learn? I would like to learn how to get followers on Twitter, Discord, and Telegram, but that didn't get upvoted much. Here I got an extra upvote. Um, so Trump is screaming like a madman on social media right now, and he's obviously terrified of a conviction. And I was joking around that he is probably terrified of Putin coming after him for his failure to block the Ukraine aid package. Yeah, he's really losing it, huh? Um, oh, here was another interesting question that I had answered earlier today. Um, what's a hobby that only rich people do? So the poster deleted it, and I just put like rich people they leave bags of poop and then they go die on Mount Everest. I mean, if you follow I follow the Mount Everest climbing every year. There's like right around April, May is when everyone goes to the summit. And you see all these crazy stories, and these are all like millionaires. This is like a millionaire hobby. It's like 100 grand to do a trip to Everest. You got to train for many years. You got to climb some other mountains before you go there. So mountain climbing is like a really expensive hobby, but they leave the mountain a mess. And a lot of them are just going up there for a selfie. They're not properly trained, and so they get all kinds of health problems up there, and they die. And they can't take the bodies. They can't take the bodies down because they're like it's high altitude, and the rescuers will die trying to take the frozen bodies. It's really hard. It's like 70 grand or something to recover a dead body off of Everest. It's terribly expensive and terribly dangerous. I mean, people die trying to retrieve the dead people. It's just nuts, and it's like, yeah. So that's something rich people do is they go and pollute the tallest mountain in the world, you know. Okay, so in Virginia Beach, someone is asking me advice about, okay, Moxie, not me, but they're just asking the group. Moxie on the oceanfront overcharges for drinks. Yeah, duh. It's the oceanfront, Virginia Beach. Two people got charged $200. Okay, so ordered 5 drinks and 2 shots, all ranging from $8 to $16 um, for 2 people, and got charged. Yeah, yeah. So I just put quit drinking. Usually do, but it's on vacation. We're gonna have a drink or two. I think the guy probably tipped the waitress a lot, or something. I don't know. But when you quit drinking, when you don't drink, life is a lot cheaper and a lot better. Then this kind of stuff doesn't happen to you. You can take that $200 and buy some more stock in some different companies. Um, let's see. Yeah, this is another one. Why doesn't the U.S. increase taxes to cool the economy? Because that ends up going on the Fed to raise the interest rates. And I've always been asking myself that too. Like, why don't they tax certain foods and certain things, and then use the tax revenues to subsidize different things? Like they could tax. Oh, you had a buddy do Everest. Um, are you hearing me now, Bill? Are you hearing me now? Because I have a green light on the microphone. I'll have to check this. Okay, I don't know if there's a sound check. Okay, I don't know if the things are running slow. Let's put that. Okay. So yeah, why don't they tax stuff, and like they could tax mansions and then build, big apartment complexes like we have here in Eastern Europe, and then give affordable houses for people who just started working, affordable apartments. Instead everything has to be a McMansion over there. So yeah, the government could use policy also to control inflation. They could give people incentive to eat healthier, cheaper foods, so that way not everything is put on the Federal Reserve. And, like a straight up interest rate hike, yeah, it might stop inflation in one area, but it can nuke the economy in others. So taxes can be more laser guided, versus carpet bombing. Like a Fed interest rate hike is like carpet bombing the inflation, but taxes can be used to, do precision guided munitions, to tax exactly where the pain is. And, that way then the Fed doesn't have to raise the rate overall and then, break the job market so bad, and everything, or even the job market keep it okay and just shift people's behavior a little bit. But what's going to happen now is they're probably going to end up having to raise rates a lot, and then they're going to create a recession. Obviously, it's always overdone. A lot of people will be out of work, and then they'll have to go do this bailout and all this printing and everything. So the government should actually use taxes. The government should use taxes to limit demand, to get the demand down, for like petrol and for junk food and all this stuff that's rent. They can, like I said, they can tax the big houses or people who own like 10 properties, and get them down to 3 properties, and, stop hedge funds from owning single family homes, and that'll put more supply on the market, and that could bring the inflation down in a different way, instead of having to use the carpet bombing or nuclear bomb. I mean, sometimes these interest rate hikes are like, basically they nuke the economy. Um, oh yeah, here's another one. Facepalm. Oh, they removed this one too. Um, it was making fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know why they're taking down all the Trump stuff. He really got beat up the other day. So hmm, yeah. Yeah. This I'm not allowed to comment here in this Trump feed either, because I criticize Trump. So they're like kind of like not allowing any opposition. It all has to be like praise Trump, praise Trump. A lot of the other feeds though, they let you take counterpoints and everything. So Okay, if attractive people are more likely to find a partner and thus reproduce, why are there still ugly people? Paradox of choice. That's all I can say. Good-looking people have a problem with paradox of choice. I have a friend who's like 53 years old, never married, no children, looks like Bradley Cooper, and every week it's somebody new because he has paradox of choice. Yeah, paradox of choice. That is why good-looking people stay single all their life. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. Church stands. Okay, yeah, that's crazy news. Um, okay. Trump spent $4.9 million on legal fees in March and had just $6.8 million left in the account he's been using to fund his lawyers. Man, I should have been a lawyer. I should have gone to law school. That's all I can say. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know the world would be this crazy. Everyone told me go be an engineer, you know, but when you become an engineer, you end up just learning how to do a lot of paperwork. Very few engineers actually get to build stuff. Most of them just do documentation. And I'm going into IT, and now I'm a project manager, and most of it is documentation and chasing after people who don't really like their job or unwilling to do anything, and playing politics. It's not a very satisfying profession. If I was a young person in America and this is the path I would advise. You get out of high school, either get an ROTC scholarship, get an academy appointment. If you can't get an officer program to go in the military, then enlist. Get your GI Bill, go to college, study like engineering for your pre-law, or study history and economics, get pre-law, and then get that done. Go back in the military if you don't have the money, and or can't get a loan, and then go to law school and defend criminals, and then you become a prosecutor, and then later on become a private criminal defense lawyer, because you understand how the prosecution works, and you'll always have work, a lot of work, and you can get really rich. If I do it all over again, I'd have been a lawyer. I'd have been a lawyer defending bad politicians. You know, okay. Okay, Russia is throwing a tantrum. Yes, of course. Here's my view. The US is actually, with quantum computing, is getting better, and with quantum computing, AI, and advancements in missile technology, we're actually 10 years away from being able to win a nuclear war. We can do a first strike on the Russians, and then the retaliation strike, we could actually shoot down every missile. I mean, we already saw that when the Iranians attacked Israel. We were able to shoot down all the missiles. I mean, granted, we got a lot more advanced notice, but that's like a preview of what's to come. I mean, it just shows like 99% effectiveness. And I think the one that got through, they just let it get through. I mean, yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a loose cannon. Yeah, she's bad for the party. They're not going to win with her. I'm personally a Nikki Haley fan. If Trump gets jailed, I'm going to vote for Nikki Haley. But right now, because I live in Ukraine, I have to vote for Biden. You know, he called out Putin for what he was, a war criminal, and he didn't backtrack on it. His administration backtracked on it, but Putin was pretty steadfast. And now Putin can't travel anywhere. So work visa and home ownership. Let's see. All right, so this guy is on a green card, basically, or not even I would say an H-1B visa, and he's got himself a good job in the U.S. You know, uh, and he went out and bought himself a house, but I think he ought to get himself a citizenship. You get a better interest rate, you being a citizen, and this guy's got all kinds of problems. He might be trapped in his house. Yeah. Yeah. So I would, if you're going to go to America, get your permanent residency or your citizenship secured first. And don't be depending on work permits before you undertake a home purchase, or you might be in foreclosure. Do people enjoy cleaning? Yeah, yeah. It's like especially when you sit at a desk all day. You know, yeah, it gets you moving around and everything. Yeah, this sounds like my wife. Yeah, doesn't let me do anything. Yeah. 23 male and never had a date. Come to Ukraine. Can fix that. Tell them, yeah, come to Ukraine. We can fix that. Come to Ukraine. We can fix that right away. Let's see. This guy is short, but that's not a problem here. Oh, okay. This person really has a lot of problems, but that can all get fixed here if you want to fix yourself. If you're having all these kind of issues, you have to start with yourself. You got to want to fix yourself before asking other people for help. You know, it's all possible. Would you recommend buying PMI Study Hall Essentials or the Study Hall Plus? No, no. You need to read the books. I would say no. I would say my keyboard. There we go. No. If you start with reading the PMI, reading the books on the PMI reading list, then do the 35-hour course, then do practice exams. You will be okay. I would say start with reading. I would start with reading around. I would say around 3 or 4 of the books on that reading list. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't need to take those extra courses from the PMI. They have a lot of expensive, very expensive courses there. Let's see. The worst part about Biden is that he's isn't that he isn't. It's that his supporters know that and do not care. Okay, no, this is Trump propaganda. No. Is it normal not to have sex in a relationship? I guess maybe in America when you're in the Bible Belt, maybe, but everywhere else, that's yeah. Is there a short term in Ukraine? Okay, yeah, it's no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all right. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you see all kinds of funny stuff on Reddit. It's like Instagram or something. It's just more 90s. Um, so Rome is over 2,700 years old. All right. Law that forces 50% of taxes on legalized drugs to be spent on expunging records. Why would you need to spend 50% of taxes to do something that a computer could do? You could write a script to take out all the drug charges out of the records. But yeah, I guess they have to hire an IT company and yeah, some layers and layers of management and yeah. Let's see. Is this mold recently moved into that took inside the tank? It was moldy above the water line. Wow, that looks pretty bad. I mean, yeah, that black stuff, you don't want to deal with that. That can make you really sick. This is some really bad mold, and it's a bathroom. It's damp and everything. So why people are having all these kind of sicknesses and stuff. That's the other problem with the home ownership, though. That is something you got to take care of it. That's why I'm always looking for a smaller place. When you have like 3 bathrooms, you have 3 times the problems, because of all the moisture. So it's better to find a house with like 3 bedrooms, 1 bath or something. You know, that's just my opinion. It saves you money. But yeah, you have to take care of it. If you're gonna buy a house, you have to take care of it. So I always prefer condos. It's much easier. Um, okay, I think yeah, we're on 1 hour now. Yeah, 54 minutes. Yeah, going on an hour. So there's only two of you here. But I'm going to try to do this every night. You guys can pick some stuff for me to talk about on Reddit. You can find me. I'll put all my details in the comments. How you can find me on Reddit as well. But okay, all right. You all have a good night.